Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I have another pair of Under Armour boots or shoes for review. Let's open the box up and see what we got. Because today we got something pretty special. We got the all new version of Valsetz boots, and these are Valsetz Micro G. I was really excited to review these. Valsetz, they are pretty popular tactical boots from Under Armour. I have reviewed them quite a while ago, and have done actually a few comparisons with those boots. So check that review out. Definitely want to know if it's if the new version is an upgrade to the old one, or if it isn't. So let's find out. As some of you already know, this review is not just a regular boot review. This review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival boots section. So basically, if this wasn't just your regular tactical boot, right, or just had a boot in your house and something bad happened, or maybe you were wearing this boot and something bad happened, and now you had to walk for miles, run for miles, get to the safe destination. On the way, you had to climb, you had to fight, you had to do whatever is necessary to survive, right? And you had to wear these boots for extended periods of time, for days without taking them off. Would they be good for your survival? Well, how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin. Criteria number 1, of course, the comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run, non-stop, and then a 5-mile walk. Again, non-stop, no pauses in between the run and the walk, nothing. And the total wear time, I continue wearing the boot for the rest of the day, and total wear time is about 8 hours. Overall, these are fairly comfortable. And let's look at the factors that contribute to the comfort level. The very first one, of course, being the weight. Now, these feel fairly lightweight. Let's find out. This is size 10. And the size 10 is 15.9. Now, this is a great weight overall for a mid-size boot. This is a great weight, 15.9. Now, in order to give you kind of a reference whenever it comes to the numbers, weight, you're looking for something that is under 20 ounce, all right? So the more under 20 ounce it is, the lighter it feels. The more over 20 ounce it is, the heavier it feels, and it creates the unnecessary fatigue from the weight. All right, 15.9, definitely well under 20 ounce for a mid-sized boot. Fairly impressive. All right, let's move on to a few other factors that contribute to the comfort level. Of course, we have the flexibility of the bottom sole. Here is not very flexible. It is definitely on the stiffer side. So running in these, you can run properly, but it's hard. It definitely requires some effort. All right, and it's fairly easy to get tired and to start running improperly because there isn't really much flexibility to the bottom sole. I wish it was a little bit more flexible, but it's freaking massive. All right, as you can see, it's very thick, so that kind of takes away from the flexibility. Let's move on to the inner sole now. Let's take it out and see what we got. Now, there is a little bit of kind of a softer rubber layer in the outsole, so that kind of creates a little bit of a softer. So it's not as hard once you remove the inner sole as you get in your typical boots. But the inner sole itself, nothing crazy. It's does have some nice jelliness to it. Not much at the front of the toe box, but definitely some pretty good jelliness in the heel. It does have a nice arch support and nice heel bed, so I do like the shape overall of this inner sole. Pretty good. And of course, on the inside of the boot, you do have some padding on the tongue. You do have some padding in the shaft, which feels pretty good. Because the toe box is very soft, it does have a lining on the inside. It creates very good, very soft feeling. So that's one of the things that contributes the most to the comfort level, overall comfort level of this boot, is that lining that is on the inside. Definitely creates very comfortable feeling. So overall, on the comfort level, pretty good. Let's move on to the criteria number 2. It's the proofing and protection. Now, whenever it comes to the proofing, there isn't really much to talk about here. These are not waterproof. Now, whenever it comes to the protection, you do have some reinforcement here at the front. Not much, but it definitely adds up a little bit to the protection. Pretty good overall. I am definitely happy with it. Now on the in the ankles, you don't have much, but you do have padding that definitely adds to the protection as well. And of course you have a reinforced heel, and because the freaking outsole is so massive, you do have some protection from the outsole as well. Let's move on to the criteria number 3 now, quality and the design features. Now quality wise, I mean, Under Armour, they have been around forever, and Valsetz specifically is like I said, is a very popular tactical boot from Under Armour. There are a lot of reviews on the original Valsetz. This is their newer version, Micro G. So there aren't a lot of reviews on these yet. The link is in the description below. But so far it's 5 stars. 5 stars. Not much reviews, but 5 stars. So people do like them already. Now, whenever it comes to the design features, usually I talk here about the lacing system. I'm not a huge fan of the lacing system, honestly. In this boot, I think Under Armour could have done a better job. These strings are a little too thin for my preference, and I mean, these hooks, fabric hooks, they don't slide through these hooks very easily, so could have been a little bit better. Overall, it's not very easy to put these on and take them off because they're just the strings that don't slide very nicely through it. But let's move on to the criteria number 4 now, the outsole, traction and stability. Now, whenever I do my run and my walk, I do it on a variety of different surfaces, starting from some older asphalt, some newer tarmac, some dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, some trail surface, some concrete, some marble, some tile. And you probably noticed these do have slip and oil resistance, and here you can see it clearly where they did it is these little crosses that are implemented into these grooves. This is what creates that oil and slip resistance. It kind of creates the suction on the flat shiny surfaces. Definitely works. Definitely very good job with the outsole that the Under Armour did. It does have very good amount of aggression, surprisingly, honestly, even though it doesn't look like, and the flatness. So it performs very good on literally everything that I tested it on. Performs great on sand, performs great on grass, on the trail surfaces, performs very well, and it performs freaking phenomenal on the flat shiny surfaces. So very good outsole. I love it. It's probably one of the best, definitely in my top 10 of all the outsoles of all the boots that are reviewed on my channel. This is definitely in my top 10. Very good outsole overall. All right, let's move on to the criteria number 5, the temperature. Now, temperature wise, I wouldn't recommend this in the cold weather. These do not have any insulation. These don't have any waterproofing. So, you know, in a snowy situation, obviously, you don't want to end up in these. You can probably get some insulated socks and get away with some colder temperatures. But again, because there's no waterproofing, kind of takes away the purpose, right? But whenever it comes to the hot temperatures, very nice and breathable boot. Overall, I do like them in the hot temperatures, pretty good. Let's move on to the criteria number 6, the sizing. Sizing, definitely true to the size. You know, always recommend here getting half a size bigger whenever it comes to your boots, so you have a little bit of that extra space. Now here, even though you do have some nice padded lining on the inside, you still want to have a little bit of extra space so that you're not smashing into this harder rubber on the inside. Keep that in mind. Let's move on to the criteria number 7, balance of application. So, if this really was your ultimate survival boot, would this be good? Honestly, I think it is pretty good. I would like to see, I think waterproofing, implementing waterproofing here in this boot would be great. But overall, I think it is pretty good. It's comfortable, it's lightweight, the outsole is absolutely phenomenal. It could have been better overall. The lacing system could have been better. There could have been some waterproofing, and that would have done a much better job overall whenever it comes to just being an ultimate survival boot. But overall, this is not bad. This is pretty good. Let's move on to the criteria number 8. The very last one is the price. Currently $125 on Amazon. The link is in the description below. If you decide to buy this boot after this review, please consider using that link in the description below. It's an affiliate link. You're not getting charged anything extra, but I do get some percentage from you buying through this link, and it's just a nice way for you to say thank you for this review. Now, overall with the price, I think definitely a fair price for everything that this boots do offer. Is there competition in the price range? Yes, definitely. There is some serious competition in the price range in a similar from Reebok, from the same Under Armour, from Salomon. So keep that in mind. Look around. I do have a lot of reviews on this channel. Check stuff out. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this boot? What do you think about this review? Thank you very much for your time, for watching the whole review. And this was Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.